Harry's Wife, Part 103.25. Now bring me a Nigerian bandwagon. Harry's wife revealed that she's apparently 43% Nigerian, that she examined her genealogy, and this was confirmed. Many people have expressed some degree of skepticism about this, not least, of course, because she also claimed to be of Maltese heritage. Now, keeping a relatively open mind about some matters, could the two be mutually exclusive? Perhaps not. But the point is this. We know that she is a chameleon. She has no sense of a true self. She has no stable core. The construct that is created by her narcissism is created to keep the creature under control and imprisoned, but also to portray something to the outside world, to allow the outside world to look upon the construct and think, interesting person, attractive person, sexy individual. I'd like to spend time with this person, give money to this person, help this person, listen to this person, talk to this person. And all of those things, of course, result in one or more of the prime aims. It allows the narcissist to control people, draw fuel from them by way of response, acquire yet more character traits to add to the construct, and those all-important residual benefits. Harry's wife doesn't consciously think, today I'm going to be this person. Her narcissism does it for her automatically. And she doesn't see that she morphs and shapeshifts. She doesn't see that there's a carousel of characteristics that she utilizes. She doesn't realize that one day she plays doting mum, the next day bananatarian, the next day pseudo-politician, the next day Forks Royal. She doesn't realize that one day it's fashion icon, then followed by silly giggly fun Harry's wife. Her narcissism simply prevents her from joining the dots in that regard. Therefore, you will find with many narcissists that not only do they engage in compartmentalization in terms of time, they also engage in compartmentalization with regard to characteristics, personality, and behaviour. So that is why you could have an individual who's a narcissist, who is a pillar of a community, member of the church, a lay preacher perhaps, but then behind the scenes is a complete sex fiend, cheating on his wife left, right and centre with a series of skanky individuals, engaging in various nighttime liaisons. He could be an inveterate gambler, spunking away the family income on poor horse bets. He has this facade to the outside world that the construct has created as part of the narcissism, that he is a decent fellow, kind, to be relied upon, somebody that you could trust, somebody that you could put your Christmas club money with, not realizing, of course, that behind the scenes he's spending it backing Old Chestnut in the 4 o'clock at Kempton. Harry's wife behaves in a similar fashion. Her narcissism accords the presentation of particular faces of her, aspects of her, in order to get to the prime aims. And her narcissism doesn't care if they effectively oppose one another, contradict one another, seem to even be mutually exclusive. So, for instance, she could say, I'm an American that has black heritage, but I'm mostly of Maltese extraction. Only then to say, actually, I'm 43% Nigerian. She could change that again in the future. And if someone were to point out, hang on, why are you now suggesting that you're 82% Swedish and 13% Croatian, when only last year you said you were 43% Nigerian? She would either simply deny that she ever said that she was 43% Nigerian, and believe me, she could well do that, just ignore what you have to say, suggest that you've got it confused, or suggest that, why do you have to make this all about race, when she has just made it all about race and ethnicity herself, demonstrating hypocrisy. Why does her narcissism do this? Well, it is, of course, for the pursuit of the prime aims. And with this unveiling of the fact that she is apparently 43% Nigerian, her narcissism then basically says, everything Nigerian, let's focus upon it. And with Harry's wife, that means, because she's not going to go and join the production of some Nigerian soap opera, or that she's actually going to go and visit the place and roll up her sleeves and help out in some actual physical charitable work. No, what her narcissism does is say, can we find a Nigerian bandwagon that our host, the narcissist, can now deal with, move towards, apply herself in relation to, in order to control people, draw fuel from them, their actions, and manage that facade and other aspects? And of course, the answer to that is yes. Notwithstanding the fact that there are so many bandwagons that she's jumped on and then jumped off them fairly quickly before it gets to actually doing some hard workville, instead, what she does is jump on the bandwagon, milk it for the appearance, milk it for the prestige, the facade, and when it actually comes to doing the dirty work, she's nowhere to be seen. Or if the bandwagon runs out of juice, she's nowhere to be seen. So it'd be interesting to see what happens with this particular bandwagon, as courtesy of the Daily Mail and Harriet Johnston, we're greeted with the headline, Harry's wife and Prince Harry donate unspecified amount, £5.53, to charities in Nigeria to help provide relief following devastating flooding, after Duchess revealed she is 43% Nigerian on latest Archetypes podcast. Now, once again, notice that the announcement of her donation has to be sent out as a press release, and then the mainstream press picks up on this and reports on it further. She is incapable of doing anything quietly. Her narcissism just won't let her do so. The article explains Harry's wife and Prince Harry made a donation to charities working in Nigeria after the Duchess announced she is 43% Nigerian on her latest Archetypes podcast, it has been revealed. Well, isn't she Korean because she had some noodles in the buff with her mother? And I understand she had a pizza recently, so she surely must be Italian as well. And of course, at some point, she has chomped and chowed down on some British sausage. So she'll claim to be a Brit or so, I should imagine. But anyway, let's not that get in the way. The Duchess of Sussex, 41, revealed her 6th episode of her audio series and explained she discovered she is 43% Nigerian after doing a genealogy test a couple of years ago. Suitably vague, vagueness, of course, being one of the manipulations that a narcissist use. If a narcissist is vague, it's all the more difficult to pin the narcissist down, isn't it? And in a press release which accompanied the episode, a Spotlight representative confirmed that the couple's Archwell Foundation made donations to Save the Children and UNICEF, to which I would say so do many other people, but they don't make a song and dance about it. The spokesperson said the unspecified donations to the charities would help provide relief following devastating floods wreaking havoc in Nigeria. Assertion of control, receipt of fuel from people's responses, and of course management of the facade. Floods in the country blamed by the government on heavy rain and a water release from a dam in neighbouring Cameroon have killed more than 600 people, displaced around 1.4 million, and damaged or destroyed 440,000 hectares of farmland across Nigeria. Meanwhile, Save the Children Nigeria tweeted more than 1.5 million children are at risk after devastating flooding in Nigeria. Prince Harry and Harry's wife's Archwell Foundation, i.e. using other people's money again to make them look good, has donated to Save the Children in Nigeria as our teams deliver life-saving supplies to affected families. The couple have previously given their support to Save the Children, with Harry's wife sharing a video alongside their son Archie for the charity's Save with Stories campaign in 2020. During the episode, which was titled Upending the Angry Black Women Myth, the Duchess said she's going to start to dig deeper into all this during her discussion with comedians Issa Rae and Xavi Fumido on her new podcast, Installment. Elsewhere in the episode, released on Spotify, mother of two Harry's wife admitted she is particular, but insisted telling people what you need does not make you demanding. Of course, this is her gaslighting people once again, as she claimed black women are stereotyped as angry. Speaking to Nigerian-American comedian Ivy, Harry's wife explained, "I just had my genealogy done a couple of years ago. I'm 43% Nigerian." She added, "I'm going to start to dig deeper into all of this because anybody that I've told, especially Nigerian women, are like, 'What?' What? They've all responded like Oprah." Okay. I very much doubt that she has actually told anybody, and I should most of them would be thinking, and so fucking what? What's that got to do with us? You don't help us. You're not one of us. But more of that later on in another video. "This is huge for our community," a shocked Vivey, 30, replied. "No, honestly, you do look like a Nigerian. You look like my Aunt Uzo, so this is great." Yes, I remember the first time that Harry's wife came on my radar, and actually I met her before I actually sort of heard of her through the media. And my immediate thought upon seeing her was, goodness me, you look very Nigerian to me. What utter hogwash. Come on, Ivy, you can do better than that. You're just tonguing the backside of Harry's wife with such a remark. And also to suggest that she looks like Aunt Uzo. Okay, if you say so. Then the article bangs on about her tiptoeing and cowering, etc., which I've dealt with in parts passive, and I really can't be asked going back over all of that. So here we see, of course, a useful opportunity to explain the way that the narcissist construct is formed, that she acquires this Nigerianness from either an actual genealogy result or one that her narcissism has made up. Remember, this is the Duchess of Delusion who repeatedly lies, and therefore there's every chance that this genealogy never actually occurred and she has just made it up. Again, driven by her narcissism. Alternatively, it did take place, and her narcissism decides that it will now show its hand, if you will, by making mention of it now, in order to utilise it as part of the construct for the pursuit of the prime aims. And then, having now identified as 43% Nigerian, the most appropriate thing is, of course, not to do any more about it, but think, oh, there we are, I've told you all about it, because you're all extremely interested in who I am. But it is, of course, now to find Nigerian bandwagons to jump onto, to underline and utilise this new Nigerianness that she has found. However, are people convinced of this? Are they convinced of what she's said, and are they convinced of these charitable donations that are being made? Do they see it as bandwagging also? Only one way to find out. We dive below the line and into the comments section. Maria123. LOL, they have not donated a single penny of their own money. It's all done for tax purposes, and what a measly 6% is so-called given away from monies that are given. Idiot. And so are the people that give them anything. Nasty little princess. Unspecified amount sounds like not very much. Otherwise, they might have told us the amount. Now, for all we know, it's $1 million. I very much doubt it. But it could be, couldn't it? Because it's unspecified. However, knowing Harry's wife, it was $1 million of somebody else's money that she'd used. She'd tell everybody about it to make it look like she's donated $1 million. But notice the cynicism that comes more and more with people in relation to Harry's wife, that she's no longer given the benefit of the doubt. That immediately when somebody sees the word unspecified, nasty little princess, accords that with, you've not donated very much. MJ12 writes, trying to buy popularity, huh? Karat responds, they buy awards, so why not popularity? Susan, 57% delusional. Actually, you should put that at 100%. SF90 Spider Girl, virtue signalling. The evil one online, not their money for sure. TJ, literally receipts, or it didn't happen. BJart responds, even if it did, it isn't their money. They're simply donating that which has been given to Archwell. Notice again that as soon as they do something charitable, nobody's now really interested in the charitable act of itself, but rather just pointing out, you shouldn't be getting any credit for it, you're using other people's money. Stephen with a PH. So why didn't she donate years ago when she found out about her Nigerian ancestry? Oh, yes, she has to remain relevant, i.e. assert control and draw fuel and manage the facade. So let's tell the world how good I am. This woman never stops, does she? Somebody responds to that, realistic realism, with me again. Anne M. I've never in my whole life ever said I dislike someone I've never met, but I can't stand Harry's wife. Chris M. The ultimate attention seekers. Catal. Trust them to make sure it gets in the press. Horrible pair. Fandango24. What they are saying is that they've donated money which has come from other people. 2 Chronicles 7. What? They don't have any money. I'm guessing the amount donated was around $1,000. Harry's wife's stunts are not clever. KJ1. Truly altruistic people do things, kind things, without broadcasting it, as I mentioned earlier. If there was a problem on Mars, she would claim that she has a Martian descendant. Lanks45. Of course they have, coinciding with her announcement about her heritage. They are simply exhausting in their quest for publicity. Nobody supporting them, everybody lambasting this, seeing straight through it as self-centered, self-seeking, and of course, as you know, her narcissism in action. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.